Crysencio Summerville is now a West Ham player. It's finally got over the line. Delighted with this signing, our fourth signing of the transfer window for West Ham. And yeah, man, it's a position we've been crying out for years, and we've finally got a natural left winger. Some may argue the likes of Saeed Benrahma were a natural winger, but for me, wasn't ever his best position. But with Summerville, he is a winger. He is a left winger. That is his position. So to make this signing now official for Julian Lopetegui is a massive boost as we go into the final remainings of pre-season. And yeah, it's just a fantastic deal. Again, 25 million plus add-ons, so it could go up to around 30 to 35 million. Still a very, very good deal for someone who's still only 22, was an outstanding player in the championship last season, and has a huge abundance of potential to really show what he's worth in the Premier League, much like we did with Mo Kudus last season. He came into the Premier League and absolutely smashed it. Summerville will be looking to emulate some of that success that Kudus had. But yeah, let's kind of break down Summerville, because it's, again, that left wing position is now sorted. Fantastic. Still plenty of work to do elsewhere, but having Summerville over the line is huge. And, just looking at this overview, for those who aren't too familiar, he's from Netherlands. He's around 5'9", still only 22, as I mentioned. He's right footed. Signing value of around 25 million plus clauses. And you can see here, his best position and his main position is out on that left-hand side. So what does this mean for West Ham going forwards? Because Summerville has signed. How do we shape up everything? Because you've got Kudus, you've got Bowen, you've got Guilherme, you've got Paqueta, you've got Antonio, you've got probably another striker coming in. So how do we blend all of this together? How do we get the best out of these players? So for me, Summerville starts. That's 100% going to be certain for me. We don't have a natural left winger on that side right now. People may argue we might want to play Kudus and Bowen on either flank, and Paqueta through the middle, and then have Summerville as an option to kind of breed into the team and hopefully start to develop. But for me, he just goes straight in. I'd be playing Kudus in the middle. I'd be playing Bowen on the right, and I'd be playing Summerville on the left. That would be my attacking three behind the striker. Again, there's been a lot of back and forth about the midfield debate, which I'm not going to get into in this video because this is about Summerville signing for West Ham. But just to give you an overview of how Summerville performed statistically in comparison to other wingers in the other 14 leagues, so not the big, 5 European leagues like the Premier League. This is in par with the Championship. And you can see here how fantastic he was last season and how high his percentiles were. Just looking at the top there, expected goals 19, goals 20. So he's pretty much on par with his expected output there. And assists as well. He actually underperformed by getting 8 assists, or 9 assists, I should say. He was expected to get 12.91. So he is a fantastic player. He's someone that's going to be able to score goals, and he's also someone that wants to create. But again, he's going to bring such an attacking threat to that left-hand side. He's not blisteringly quick like a Kudus over a long period, but he's got that short turn of pace to get away from players. And because of his frame and because of how he plays and how he dribbles, that's going to be what it does. You can see there, dribbles per 90. He was averaging around 7.71 per game. Half of them successful, again, because of the type of player he is, type of progressive winger he is. He will try and look to take on players. But again, the passing and the range of passing as well, you can see in kind of middle to low block there. Progressive passes, deep completions, accurate passes. He's someone that wants to bring the ball forwards and drive with the ball, but he will also create where needed, hence the 8 or 9 assists that he got this season. Defensively, that's not his game. We know that he's been brought in to be a winger, so he's definitely going to have to improve in that aspect, because we're going to have to defend at times and look to be a counter-attacking team. And someone like Mo Kudus, we know, is very, very good defensively as well as offensively. So Summerville's probably going to have to up his game in that regard when coming into the Premier League, because the opposition is just a different caliber compared to the Championship. And scoring 19 goals and getting 9 assists in the Championship is fantastic return. But in the Premier League, it's going to be a different ball game. But I have no doubt that he can be a success. And I think for the fee we've been able to get Summerville at, it is a fantastic move from the football club to get this done. I really do believe that. It's a position that's been crying out for so long that it's very, very rewarding to feel, that we've finally got that position filled. And again, with Summerville, you can kind of see how he compared to other players, looking at the other 14 leagues for expected goals and expected assists last season. I mean, look at Summerville. He's in a league of his own on the right-hand side there. You can see some notable names like Di Maria, Tadic, even Clark of Sunderland that we were linked to for a while. But again, in terms of his expected output, he's top of the list. He's right up there in terms of goals and assists. So yeah, it's just a really really good signing. Not only is it addressing a position we need, but it's also signing a player that isn't 35 years old. It's something that we're building for the future, and it's a player that's going to provide a lot more balance to how we play. Last season we did get some success when Paqueta played out on that left hand side, and Emerson and Paqueta were linking up very well, but it was never sustainable because it's not a natural left winger. You will very very quickly get found out by teams because you're playing in a very one dimensional way. Summerville does not provide a one dimensional way of playing. He will offer a lot of versatility across the line. He can play out on the right, although it's not his strength. He's going to be a left winger for West Ham. He is going to be that main man on that left hand side. So this video is sponsored by Emotive. Emotive provide cutting edge digital services, solutions, and training to companies and businesses of all sizes. Emotive have worked with some fantastic brands in the past, as you can see behind me, the likes of Apple, Google, Tesco, and of course, Babylon Irons. Emotive offer 4 key services, the first being digital solutions, the second being professional training and coaching, the third being fractional experts, and the fourth being AI readiness. We're going to be working with Emotive on our channel to improve how we showcase the data to you guys in our breakdown videos and data analysis videos. If you want to find out more information about how Emotive can work with you, make sure to scan the QR code now, which will take you to emotivetouch.com, where you can find out more details about the company, and the link will be in the description. A massive thank you to Emotive once again for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to it. It's just a fantastic signing. I mean, if we compare him to someone like Guilherme as well, you can kind of see the differences slash similarities in how they play. But again, with Summerville, he's just got that it's the goal threat for me. And, scoring 19 goals as a winger in the championship last season was fantastic. And the assists as well, getting 9 assists is fantastic. So yeah, for me, when I think about the recruitment that happens at West Ham now and the direction that Julian Lopetegui wants to go in, this is it. This is how we need to progress as a football club, because we're not going to develop A, players, and B, as a football club sustainably if we don't make these types of signings. So Somerville definitely fits the mold of what Tim Steiden's trying to do, what Mark Noble and Julian Lopetegui are trying to do. And it's actually good that we've got it over the line. This was one of our key top left winger targets for this summer transfer window. So again, we've brought in Max Kilman, who was at the top of the list and in a centre back position. We've brought in Somerville, who is very high on the list in that left wing position. So it's great. It's great business from West Ham, and suddenly we're starting to develop. We're starting to bring in some smarter deals, and we're looking at the squad now. We could be sat here in 1 or 2 weeks' time, and we have a completely different outlook going into the season. It was only this time last week we were talking about, is it panic? Are we settling into panic mode right now? But for me, no, we are definitely on top of things. I think, when you look at how we've made 4 signings since the start of the transfer window, with the Euros happening and Copa America, I think that's very, very good. It's difficult to get all the business done in one go. We found that out with the striker position. Deals take time, deals will change, goalposts will move. But to secure Somerville at West Ham is a fantastic, fantastic signing, and an exciting signing as well. It's a player that's going to excite fans and hopefully push on from the season that he had at Leeds last season. And again, looking at a few different social media posts online around Somerville, a lot of Leeds fans were very creditable to how he's acted and conducted his whole way through his Leeds career. And, that's something we want to definitely embrace at West Ham, and we don't want to have any, bad eggs in the dressing room. So on that aspect as well, it fits into that category of, getting into the dressing room and settling in very nicely. So he's also got Premier League experience from his time at Leeds in the previous season. So, he knows what it's all about. He knows how to raise his game, and this is going to be a really, really interesting move. I think for me, this signing, if I was to give it a rating out of 10, it's an 8.5 or a 9. It really is, just because of the value, the age of the player, and we're signing probably arguably the best player from the championship last season. So yeah, 8.5 or 9 out of 10 for me. I think it's an absolutely fantastic signing, but we have to keep pushing. There has to be more now. We are in crunch time. The Premier League is a matter of days away now. And yeah, we've still got work to do, but Somerville is a massive step forward and a massive relief of a lot of people's shoulders to kind of fill that left wing position. And we now have a little bit more balance and a little bit more surety across that front line. And as I'm saying, if we're lining up with Somerville, Kudus, Bowen behind a striker, that gives you a lot of versatility and options and goal power as well. You know, Kudus, Bowen, Summerville, they're slightly different profiles and how they all play, but I think they're going to connect really, really well when they play as a free behind the striker on the pitch. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Are you happy with the signing of Summerville at West Ham? Do you think we should have gone with someone else? Do you think he's going to be brought in to be a starter? All of that stuff, let me know in the comments. And yeah, for me, I'm happy we've got it done. Summerville is West Ham's fourth summer signing of the transfer window, and hopefully there's more to come. But yeah, if you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And until the next one, come on, you irons.